Hello, this is Miss Ani, and this is our final video for page 4 in your notebook. We'll be finishing up page 4 with this video. So this is page 4, part 3. You're going to want to go into your notebook. You've got two ways of doing that. You can click the link that is here in your Schoology, or you can just go to canva.com and get it from there. So when you enter into your notebook, it should look like this. Let's do a quick check and make sure that yours is looking like mine, so you know that you're in the correct video. Your cover may be blank, maybe not, depending. You might have already completed it. You should have a table of contents page, and it should have this first entry here. Of course, you can pause the video if you're missing that and catch up. We've got a second table of contents we'll be using later on in the semester. And then this is what our page 4 is looking like right now. So you should have all of your examples complete, and you should also have all of your definitions complete. So if you do not have that done, you are probably in the wrong place right now. You want to backtrack to the page 4 part 2 video, or maybe the page 4 part 1 video. Okay, so we're going to be finishing up page 4 today, talking about how we name these different things. So we need to grab some resources, so please do this for me. Add a page 5 if you don't have one already. And then we're going to come over here to the side, and we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And you're going to be going into your folder for your geometry notebook. Now, my Canva has a whole bunch of stuff in it, so it's going to look different than yours in this moment right now. But just click into your folder for this class or your folder for this notebook. Let's see if I can get there. Give me just a second. I gotta find my... One moment, please. Where's it at? Too much stuff in here. Here we go. Okay, so you're gonna click that part 3 resources and just drag it onto your page, and it should look like this. You've got some colored boxes, and then you've got some googly-gook down here. I don't know where this guy came from. We don't need him. Let's just delete him. Okay, so what I would like you to do first, you might notice that these new boxes that you have, the colors are matched to these boxes here. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to take just a second to put these boxes in place. So for example, I'm going to grab the red one, and I'm going to move it next to my other red one. So it's looking like this. So don't worry about the content of the boxes right now, just get them put in place for me, okay? So please pause the video or do that along with me right now. Of course you can pause if I'm going too fast for you. So we want to put all of these boxes here aligned by color. Uh-oh, this one wasn't hooked together. That's my mistake. I'll have to go back and fix that. Go ahead and if that happened to you, it's okay. Just grab them separately. Not a big deal. Okay. Now that we have that in place, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. You're going to want to zoom in on this page so that you can see the writing more clearly. And I want to ask you to please pause the video. And you are going to read this page in its entirety. So you'll be reading like this: point, then looking at the example, reading the definition in your head, and reading how this thing is named. So your goal is to read this entire page. So please hit pause right now and do that, and then unpause me once you have completed. Okay, so at this point you have read all of this. So let's talk about this naming a little bit. We're going to start up here with the red. So points are always named with capital letters. Always, always, always. So for example, when you see this guy, you're going to say point A. That's how you would describe this figure that you see here. Okay, pretty simple. Now, when it comes to lines, remember this guy goes on forever in both directions. He's named using any 2 points on the line. Now, our line only has 2 points, but it could have more. It could have A, B, C, D, G. There could be a bunch of points on this line. And we are allowed to choose any 2 that we want. Doesn't matter which 2, doesn't matter what order. All we have to do is make sure that we put a line symbol over the top of it. Sometimes, it's a little rare, but sometimes you'll see this guy named with a cursive letter. And it'll kind of be like this. You don't need to do this, but let me just show you real quick. This is going to be a mess because I can't draw on the computer. But let's say, for example, they will put a cursive letter, I don't know, cursive letter N down here. So it'll look like this. Boop, boop. Oh, that's horrible. A cursive letter N. And it'll be just right here, you know, outside of the line. I'm going to erase that real quick. So if you see that, you know, it doesn't happen too often, but you'll know what that is. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to think about what this line that we have here could possibly be named and what that might look like. Scoot down here to the bottom and you've got some options. I put some names together for you. So do you notice how this one has the line symbol above it? That is our clue that's the way that we would name this thing. So to remind ourselves, let's grab these guys and let's move them up here, and we're going to put them right under the line. And we want to grab both of them because we've got 2 possibilities. We can call this line AB or we can call it line BA. Both are correct. So our orange section is looking like this. We can call this thing BA, we can call it AB. Both are correct. So if you saw this, you would say line AB. Or if you saw this, you would say line BA. Okay? All right, and the line segment is very similar. Except for that, this guy could have lots of points in him too. And in this case, in the line, you can use any 2 points, but in the line segment, you have to use the end points. That's your only possibility. So let's look down here and see if we can find what that name might look like. So notice how these have a little segment up on top of them. That is your clue that these are naming a line segment. So let's grab them and move them up onto the page. Uh-oh, I see another mistake I made. Okay, stick these right under here. I wonder if you guys noticed the mistake. Do you notice that these 2 are exactly the same? What would be the point of putting 2 things exactly the same? What I meant to do, you can go ahead and let's see. We should be able to type in this thing. Let's see if we can get in there. Because one of them should say line segment BA and the other one should say line segment AB. Let's make that little change. There we go. Okay, so here are the 2 ways that you could name this line segment. Alright, so I bet you're starting to see the pattern already, and I bet you can already guess which of these are for your rays. You see these little guys that have the arrows? Those are going to be for your ray. So let's go ahead and grab those up and get them in position where they go. Okay, I'm going to stick those right here under the word ray. Alright, now let's pause for just a second and let's look at what we wrote down for how you name a ray. It says in green, named using the endpoint and one other point on the ray with a ray symbol above it. Okay, we've got that. And then it says the endpoint is always first. So this actually indicates to you which way the ray goes. Notice that this ray starts at E and it continues through F. So here we have a ray that starts at E and continues through F. This guy would be indicating the other direction. it would be indicating a ray that starts at F and goes in the opposite direction, and that's not what we have. So this is a counter example. This is what we should not do. So let's do this. Come over here to the side, go to your elements, and let's just type in the word no and hit the enter. All right, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this guy right here. So scooch him over here. Uh-oh, he's giant. He's absolutely massively huge. Let me see if I can fix that. Boop, 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 boop. Let's get him much smaller. And let's move him into position. Oh, he still needs to be even smaller. Uh-oh. I don't know what I did. This is getting all messed up. Well, shoot. What did I do wrong here? I don't know, but I'm just going to keep playing with it till I get it. Okay. I think what I need to do is use this little side thing to make him smaller. There we go. That's better. Okay, don't forget you got your zoom in and zoom out down here. You see how much I use it. It's a really valuable tool. So move this no symbol over the FE. So you got something kind of like this. And that's going to be to remind you that you have to put the end point first. You can't have... you can't switch this one around any way that you want like you can the others, okay? All right. Now, our angle, we're not going to put an example because this little animated angle doesn't have any letters for us to name it, but it says it's always named with 3 points, and the vertex must be in the middle. Now, when it comes to our vertex, we also won't name this one. It doesn't have any letters for us to name it. But just a reminder, the vertex is just a point. So if you wanted to talk about this point right here, it would need to have a letter. But let's say it had the letter B. You could say the vertex is point B. Vertexes don't have any special naming. All right, so let's look at this angle. This right angle really works for us to talk about naming because it has some letters. Notice that it has A, O, and B. So if you look down here, you've got some angle naming. You see these little guys right here? I'm going to show you how to move things as a group. If you push the shift button, you can click, 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 and those things will now move together. So that's going to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to move them up here onto the page, and I'm gonna position them here. I might have to, it looks like I'm gonna need to make them a little bit smaller, so I'll grab the corner to do that. Can I make them smaller? Uh-oh. I can't make them smaller. Why is that? It looks like they won't go any smaller. Alright then, I'm gonna squish them all in. Aw, they really don't fit there. That's kind of disappointing. Oh well. What can you do? I'll try to put these in here nice and neat. I just kind of go over the lines a little bit. Alright, now, so notice how we have so many options. So one of them, the first one is named A, oops, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. It's named A-O-B. We have one named B-O-A. Now these guys, check this out. Do you remember that for the angle it said the vertex must be in the middle? So O is the vertex. It must be in the middle. So these two guys cannot work. We are also going to X them out. So I'm going to slide this over. Is it going to be giant again? I bet it is. Ah! Why does it go so vague? Why can't I have it just a little smaller? Okay, it's okay. It's good for us to learn how to use these things. Okay, let me shrink him down. There we go. And now let me go back in. Okay, so I'm just going to X out these two that don't have O in the middle because I know that my vertex has to be in the middle. There we go. We're a little over the lines, but that's okay. Alright, so here is what our page 4 is looking like. And now it is complete. And that's the end of this video.